right now. A lot of folks are simply focused on the human tragedy that we're watching unfold in front of our eyes. Obviously we have folks that look at what's the potential damages, what might this mean for the insurance agencies or the insurance market itself. And of course, I pay attention to what does this mean about the future of utilities and electrical provision and infrastructure from my seat at the table.
So what do you see about utilities besides, the litigation and the snarkiness and all that? That's the modern age. Maybe it happened in the San Francisco earthquake. I don't know. But what do the new utilities look like after this shock?
Well, I think the utility systems will continue to look in large part the same. I think what I've been paying attention to is obviously the investor reaction. If you look at some of the stock performance of the local utility, just to give you one example, they've already lost $4.3 billion in market cap. And that's probably greater than what the potential liability would be, even if they were to be found liable, which no one understands where the source of these fires have come from yet. So I'm not implying at all that there's any culpability, but the investor response is quite out of whack. So I do think that we need to look at what other options we have. Can we transition more to small scale nuclear reactors? I do like the move toward maintaining our baseload nuclear infrastructure, making sure that we have more options to provide electricity. And then, of course, the other thing was water pressure, because water pressure is a lot of times driven by electricity. And even the local water and electrical group in LA was saying that they did not proactively shut off electricity for the reasons of keeping water pressure on. So I don't think we have any sense yet of exactly what is transpiring. And I do think there will be some lessons learned, like there have been for multiple fires that have happened in California, and it'll continue to affect the landscape of utilities across the country.
Well, let's go down that path that you just kind of led us down, and that is the future of nuclear energy in this country. And it's something that's had a lot of currency lately, I think, in the context of the surge in growth we've seen in AI and the demand that's placed on the power grid just to power the data centers that are being built to sustain it. Do you sense that there is a change in appetite or appreciation for the role that nuclear power could play here in the U.S.?
It's definitely experiencing a renaissance, which I find quite encouraging, because personally, a decade or so ago, I was quite distressed that we were prematurely shutting down nuclear assets. And now I see us giving tax credits and incentives for keeping these assets more in play. You've seen some of the recent announcements with some of the large tech players partnering with utility providers to restart nuclear facilities. This is strong baseload infrastructure that's already connected to the transmission grid, and you wouldn't have to provide necessarily new infrastructure. Building new ones, though, prohibitively expensive, as we've seen from some of the new reactors that are coming online. But I do think that there's more of an appetite, and it's driven by the tech companies that know that they need this. A recent survey that KPMG did, we found that 55% of our tech buyers were willing to pay 50% or more for electricity to ensure that it's reliable and sustainable.